Hey, it's Dave, M.I., right here. And I just got in a box. I figured I'd do a fast video unboxing, maybe show you a couple of things. This is from Severin Films. Here we go, I'll hide my address so you can't find me. Severin Films. We bought one of these discs. We were looking at buying one disc, but then we just kept buying stuff so that we get free shipping. I don't know if that makes any sense really in the long run, but let's unbox this and we'll see what we got. Cut open the box. Okay. Cut it open. Open the box. Oh, peanut. The bane of my existence, peanut pack. It's just so messy. I had a feeling. Look at all that peanut pack. So, look at this. Look at all that peanut pack. 5 years later. I'm gonna need a nap after this. Okay. So let's see. Peanut pack all over the floor. I'll get that after. I'll get it after, I promise. Okay. All right, so this was all for the Changeling, which was on sale. Here we go, Changeling, George C. Scott. How can you go wrong with that? Here we go, let's take a look. So yeah, different artwork on the slip. It's a nice slip, nice beefy slip. Go. No, getting a little. And I figured I'd do it here. You know, usually you see me in the media room or the study or whatever you want to call it, the other room. But I'm working on that room right now and working towards getting that. I have to get some more shelves in there and stuff. So I figured I'd do it out here. I just made this. This is a little coffee bar, pieced together furniture, and it took me 8 hours, but I was able to get this thing put together. So we'll get this whole thing put together. So I figured I would use it. I would sit here in the dining area, in the little pub or bistro or whatever. And let's open this up. And what do we have? Okay, we have picture disc, Changeling. Turn this over. And that's the 4K disc. And then we get a Blu-ray disc. Oh, and we get a soundtrack. With the original soundtrack on disc. That's neat. So that's the 3 discs. And we've got some art. Like the Japanese art. And listing of the motion picture soundtrack. That's neat. George C. Scott's one of my favorite actors, so it doesn't hurt to have this. So then I was looking, well, you know, I didn't want to pay for shipping. And I said, well, you know, I'll show you. There's another disc in here. I'll show you that in a second. I said, well, why don't we get t-shirts to go with the Changeling? I'll show you. Got the t-shirts. This is my wife's. This is mine. Now open up mine. Open up her own. We'll get to the next disc. And so we got t-shirts, but it still wasn't enough to get free shipping. I hate paying shipping. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, that's nice. Nothing on the back, so it's not double-sided. But that's cool. And it's, is it like the cover? No, it's a little different. That's good. George C. Scott. That's nice. So we got both of those. And then I said, well, what do they have for discs? And I'm just not as interested in what Severin has, because just like Vinegar Syndrome, really not into that style of movie. So I ended up getting Overboard, which is interesting because it has a premise and stuff that I don't think they could do today. And this is the first time I think it's had a 2K scan. And we just watched this recently on one of the streaming services. So, oh, that's interesting. This is just a Blu-ray, but it kind of has the black, so it almost looks like it's a 4K disc. Let's open it. Let's see. It was a fun movie. It was a cute movie. It just, nobody has any sense of humor or anything today, so they couldn't do a film like this today. We didn't bat an eye, right, on half of this stuff. We didn't care. We didn't care. We just thought it as a silly premise that was fun. And, now people are like, oh, that's creepy and whatever. So, and one disc, yeah, one Blu-ray disc, picture disc. That's nice. Yeah, I mean, so far, really good quality. This is a little bit of a slipper, a little bit of a thinner slip. Go. I can get it in there without destroying it. We'll take it from the top. Yeah, that's nice. Nice. Thing, right? Yeah, same thing. It just mirrors it. It's cool. So yeah, these are really nice. I have another thing too. Oh, they gave us a sticker too. We'll get the Severin sticker. And actually, this works out well because I'm sitting at the bar here. This is the Severin shot glass, which put us over the top so we get free shipping, and mission accomplished. So I'll put that right there. You can see it. I figured, while I have you here, I'll show you two. We also got, so of course, I have the Knockout collection for Rocky, which was the 4 discs, and then we had to send for new discs because they messed all the discs up. And I think it was WB, right? I think they're the ones, they had to send us new discs. So that was fine. And then they only put out Rocky 5 and Rocky Balboa in Steelbooks. So they finally went on sale, and I finally pulled the trigger and got them. And they're nice Steelbooks. It's just, we would much rather, here's the J card. Here we go. We would much rather have just standard editions available. That would be nice. It has a digital. Here's Rocky doing one-arm push-ups. Here's the disc. Here's the Blu-ray disc, which I think is just from the regular Blu-ray collection. And here he is, kind of out of focus, still doing one-arm push-ups. Looks like a stunt double. Right? It doesn't look like Stallone there, but I guess it is. So we got that. So it's a nice steelbook, and for the price, I grabbed it. And it's funny. We watched, my wife and I, we watched Rocky 5 again, and she really hadn't seen this movie. She didn't really remember. And I've seen it on, it's been like on HBO and on TV. I never really sat down and really watched it. And I think this movie is, actually, I would agree with Stallone that this movie is pretty underrated. It was actually much better than I remember it. I really enjoyed it. And the transfer was great. I enjoyed the transfer. Now, we also got Rocky Balboa. And there's a, everybody was pining for a Rocky 5 director's cut. But you know, I don't know if they really had enough to do. They took some stuff out, like what happened to Little Marie, but then now Little Marie is in this, so it really wouldn't work doing the, you know, adding that stuff back in. And I actually thought this was decent, and it works. It's a bridge movie. You definitely can't have Rocky Balboa, and you can't have the Creed films without this movie, bringing us kind of back full circle for Rocky to open up Adrian's, and Adrian probably at the time opened up the restaurant, and that changes the trajectory of the Rocky story. So now we have Rocky Balboa, which they have the director's cut on this. So we watched both of these, both the director's cut one day, and I was very disappointed in it. And then we watched the theatrical, and the theatrical is 100 times better. The director's cut for me really drags everything out. It takes a lot of the emotion out. I didn't like Rocky versus Drago. I prefer Rocky 4. So it's the same thing here. It's interesting to see the footage. If I had seen that footage before or not, I don't remember. But it was interesting to see it in context, but I just don't think it worked. I think Stallone at the time, his instincts were correct. And then when he came back, I think he was a little bit clouded and putting that together. But, you know, it's neat to see. It's neat, right? So, Rocky Balboa, iconic picture of him raising his fist. The J card, so you see that. Open this up. Take out it has a digital code. We have Rocky standing up. And then we have just a black disc and the Blu-ray, which I don't think is any different from the Blu-ray set. And then we see the rest with Dixon. Right, what can I think of his name? Line Dixon, yeah. Why am I not thinking it's it's a normal set? I'll remember as soon as I stop filming. Okay, put that back in. Okay, there we go. So there we go. There's some stuff. Did you get either of these Rockies? Did you get Overboard? Did you get the Changeling? Let me know. Let's talk about it in the comments. Of course, Rocky 5 and Rocky Balboa are the only movies in the the main Rocky franchise that I didn't see in the theater. I saw Rocky 4, Rocky 3, and Rocky 1 and 2 I ended up seeing in 1979, I believe, in the drive-in. So I saw them both in the drive-in. What's your history with the Rocky franchise? Let me know in the comments. There we go. So, as I always say, no matter what you do, just keep collecting. And I'll see you next time.